Hello, everybody. I am sitting today with the beautiful money goddess, Viki or Victoria Chervenkova, who is the most amazing person that I've met online of recent days. She wrote this brilliant book called Unleash Your Inner Money Goddess. I've already interviewed Viki for Inspiring Mompreneurs, my other brand, because I read the book, absolutely loved the book. And now Viki is launching her program called the Money Goddesses Grow System. So this is about how you can grow your money goddess. Isn't that exciting? So Viki, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hello, Lauren. Thank you so much for having me again.
Oh, such a pleasure. It's always so good to see you. I always feel alive and excited. Just to let you into a little secret, Vicky and I were both so excited before this interview that we had to do a few PQ reps, positive intelligence quotient reps, just to bring our excitement down a little bit to the level that we could actually have a decent conversation with you guys today. Anyway, fun and games. So we've done that and we're now feeling super calm and ready for this. So let's launch into what inspired you to create this program, Vicky.
The inspiration for the program came from several readers of the book, actually. Just like you, they loved the content, they loved the concept of awakening their inner money goddess so that they can get on their own financial journey. And they wanted more. They wanted a system, a program to take them step by step through all the little steps that they need to do in order to fully embody the goddess
Mm.
archetypes and start managing their money. So after the second or the third request that I got, I felt like this is something that needs to be done. This is something that is calling to manifest in this world. So I said, okay, let's do this.
That's so interesting you say that because I remember when we were talking about how the book came, it was also just like it came through you. Talk about that process as well, because it's like this work had to be birthed through you. That's how it feels.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Same as the book. It was something that I got as a divine download, and I was just the vessel through which this book came to life. And the same is true for the program because I wasn't planning on having a program. I was contemplating on creating a course about financial literacy for moms specifically. But when the book came and I got all this feedback, I figured, okay, this is what I need to do instead. And it's not just a course, but a holistic program.
Wow, that's so amazing. I love how everything just comes through you and comes to you just like lightning flashes, like bolts of lightning. It's amazing.
It's my new mode of being. Since I decided to move into this work, I made a decision. I want to let things flow for me as opposed to how I used to do things in my marketing career before that and all the projects that I did. So now I'm living this concept, this idea of just letting the universe, God, powers, whatever you want to call it, just work through me and let the things that need to be in this world come through me, whatever needs to come.
I absolutely love it. And look at you. You look like a goddess, my darling. You look like a goddess.
Thank
Look
you.
at your outfit. I love this goodie on your arm here. It's so gorgeous.
I decided to lead the program by embodying the program and showing what you can turn into as you go through the steps. So I myself am going through this whole transformation. It's so beautiful. I can't explain it.
I love it. This next question is probably a bit superfluous then, because it's how is this program different from what's already available in the market? You're already starting to describe that.
It is a very important question, actually, because when I started my own financial journey, my own financial education several years ago, there was not a program, anything like this, that would combine both mindset work, in my case, goddess archetype work, and practical strategies and financial management tips. There were either programs that would deal with the mindset. Some of them would go into details about manifestation and money, and all that is beautiful. It is needed in this world. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you would have only these highly specialized, very sophisticated programs with financial jargon that were too high level for me. So there was nothing in between that would help you really start with the mindset, then the little steps that everyone can take immediately to start improving their financial life. And that was missing then, and I'm seeing it missing now as well, which is very weird. You have all the programs either at the end of the spectrum or the other.
Mm.
And my goal was to create something that would combine and meet women where they are and take them through the journey slowly, consciously, and help them turn into the money goddess that's already within them.
Oh, I love that. You've got me so excited because, by the way, I'm going to be doing this program. I'm so
So
excited about doing it with you. And it sounds like that is something uniquely feminine because I remember you mentioning before how a lot of the courses came from a very masculine approach. And you also wanted to bring this feminine, not just goddess energy, but the feminine energy into your program.
yes, yes. Most of the courses, they are a little bit dry, like spreadsheets,
Mhm.
like very practical, very actionable, like this is what you need to do, one, two, three. And they would all recommend different strategies, different tactics that would leave you more confused because you cannot know which one actually works and which one works for your specific situation and your specific values and personality and everything that you hold within yourself. They are not meant to meet you there. They are meant for someone who may be more advanced, maybe is looking to diversify their approach to financial management. On a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being more basic principle based program, to 10 being very sophisticated, most of the programs that I see are somewhere between 6, 7, 8, and beyond as a level of difficulty. You need to have some prep work before that to understand and apply those concepts.
Right.
And from what I see in my experience, we women are frustrated and scared to go jump straight into those kinds of programs because we feel we're not there yet. They don't
Yeah.
speak to us yet. So
Mhm.
my program is somewhere in between and can really serve you at the level that you are.
I love that. I love that because actually I was learning this week exactly about that. That if you're at a level 10 of understanding how money works, if you're one of those super gurus and you know exactly how it all works, and you try and teach someone who's at a level 1, they are not going to get it at all. They will not understand. They will be so overwhelmed and so confused because a level 10 can't teach a level 1. Things are so simple to them now that they've forgotten what the steps were in between. It's hard to reverse engineer when you get to a really high level. It's hard to go back and think like a person who's at your level, which is so
Yeah.
interesting. I'd never thought about that before, and it makes so much sense, which means there is room for every kind of coach at every level if you just know a little bit more. Then the person who's trying to get that knowledge, then you can take them through that program. And so
Yeah.
I'm guessing then you have follow-up programs in mind so that you can take them to the next level and the next level.
Yes. Oh, yeah, for sure. So the reason why I decided to do this program before me myself getting into a position of like a 7, 8, 9, 10 level expert is just what you mentioned. I can say I'm at a level 5 probably with knowledge about the financial industry, financial instruments. I know just enough and a lot to say that I can teach other people how to get to my level. And then
Mm.
we can continue growing together because as I pull people to my level, I help them come to my level. At the same time, I'm continuing my progression so I can help them come with me at that later higher level stage. And yeah, I don't know what that would look like yet. I'm letting things unfold as they come, but I'm super excited to see where this journey takes us all.
I absolutely love that. So, why do you think so many smart, capable women out there are still struggling with money? And how do we change that?
There are very, very smart women who have figured out every aspect of their life,
Mm.
family, relationships, especially career, business,
Mm.
entrepreneurship, health. They feel well. They have all the pieces together except for money. I know this to be a fact because I was there several years ago. I had everything laid out. I had my business, I had the girls, my husband, everything was working fine until one day I realized I know practically nothing about managing money and investing. And when I digged deeper into that, I thought, I wondered why is that? And the lack of financial literacy in my youth and as I was growing up was one factor, but then the other factor was this whole masculine energy and the way the whole financial industry is built, and which kind of keeps women away, keeps us apart because we don't feel aligned with that kind of language, that kind of approach to dealing with finances. And I had to kind of push myself through this. I had to go beyond this barrier. It's an inner psychological barrier because I knew that it would be worth my time, my effort, and the money that I spent on educating myself because I knew I needed to do that. I knew I needed to perfect this final piece of the puzzle called life. And a lot of women are like that, smart, capable, ambitious, driven, and yet they kind of stay away from the money topic because of the way it is presented to us, which is very masculine, very in that action and aggressive energy, which doesn't resonate with us. And that's exactly the gap that I want to bridge right now.
I love that because if I look at myself as one of your participants in the program very soon, yes, it's fear. It's fear that I'm out of my depth. It's fear that I'm so out of my depth that I'm going to mess it up, right? If I was going to take any money and invest it right now, I'm going to lose the money. So it's that fear that I'm going to not know what I'm doing, and that can be very expensive, costly lessons ahead if I try something that is so out of my depth. What I love about what you're doing is you use these ancient goddess archetypes in your work. What inspired you to bring that mythology into the world of personal finance? I don't think I've ever heard of it done before, actually.
Me neither. And I researched it because it was so interesting and it sounded so unique when I got that divine download about the book. So I researched it. I wanted to see if somebody else is doing it already. I don't want to duplicate anyone's work. But it turned out there was nothing about this, which was very curious. There's a whole branch in psychology that's all about archetypal psychology, and gods and goddesses and mythology is a huge part of it. but it has never been extrapolated and utilized as a tool to teach people something specific, especially about money. So I found this relationship that can work so well because we learn best through stories and through storytelling. I think I mentioned that on our previous conversation that my favorite book actually on money is Psychology of Money, which tells you the lessons of how to manage finances based on real life stories and what we learn from them. So I
Mhm.
chose this type of presenting money lessons through the lens of ancient mythology and goddess archetypes because one, we work on the mindset, we work on the psychology, on the basic foundational work that we need to do on the inside before we are ready to work with money and the energy of money and then go to the practical steps like real life financial strategies, where to invest, what to invest in, for how long, and so on and so forth. So we go through each of these steps, but the basic thing that we need to cover is first this archetypal work, psychology, figuring out our own money stories, money beliefs, money fears, as you said, transform them, and then move on to the next level. And that's exactly what's also missing in those programs. They go straight to the strategy without the previous work that needs to be done, which is also hugely, hugely important.
Wow, I love it. I'm getting more and more excited as we talk about this. So, what would you say to the woman who feels overwhelmed or late to the party when it comes to managing her finances? So, that's like me, that kind of a woman.
That's one of the biggest fears that you're late to the party. It's too late to start investing, or you don't know where to start. We're at this age now that it's late to learn. We don't have the time to invest in learning all this stuff because for me, it took me years to come to where I am now. But there's one thing that I want everybody to understand and to remember. It is never, never, never too late to start. You have at least 10, 20 years ahead of you that you must use to make your money work for you and make you more money. So when you decide to retire or you plan for something else bigger later in life, you have the cushion, you have the resources and the finances to lead a decent, powerful life in your golden years. So it's never too late. I started in my late 30s.
So, if someone did this program with you, where could they be financially in 12 months' time? So, let's just
Oh.
get a hypothetical.
So if you follow the steps in my program, in 12 months, you will not only be absolutely clear about your finances, so no more money fog, no more confusion, what is going on with your bank statements, your credit card statements, your debt, anything like this. You'll know exactly where you stand. You will be absolutely confident that you can handle your money as a professional, and you can start investing in real life investment vehicles that are low cost, low risk, long term, and sustainable. So in 10, 15, 20 years' time, you can be sure that you have a very good nest available to you when you need it at that later point in life. But also in 12 months, you may have already started. At the
Hmm.
end of the program, which is 8 weeks,
Hmm.
teach you exactly the type of investment vehicle that any beginner can start with very, very easily and
Hmm.
very safely because all the financial experts that I have learned from, that I have been mentored by, vow to the efficiency of this instrument as like the best thing a newbie can start with.
Okay.
So you should have started already investing. And at the end of 12 months, you will actually see the first results of your own investment and of your own empowerment. And that is beautiful. I remember when I first started seeing how my money is growing and how it's getting me more money without me doing anything. I was so excited. No, I can't explain it. The feeling, you just have to feel it to get an understanding of the empowerment and the belief in yourself that you can build by following just these little simple steps.
Wow. So you basically would be starting to make money work for you. Is that like that whole idea of it's not just you working for money now, but you actually got
Oh,
some money out there that's working for you. Is that right?
yes, yes, absolutely. And you can
Wow.
start with as much money or as little money as you want, just to get a feel for it, just to get a feel of how these financial markets work for you. And as you get more confident, you can start investing more and more. But yeah, by month 6, you will already start seeing results.
Wow.
Financially, mindset is already done by that. But financially, really, you will already see the results coming.
Wow, that sounds amazing. But it sounds like it's not just that, they're also going to shift things inside themselves. So when we're talking about what could they create or shift, it's not just money, right? There's going to be a change in themselves. You mentioned confidence. You mentioned,
Clarity, confidence, being in your power, taking control back over your financial life. Because what you mentioned previously with us women having this fear around money, this fear leads us to giving away our power over money control to somebody else,
mm,
be it our husband, partner, a professional financial consultant who would manage it for us, but somebody else to take the responsibility. And the truth is, it is your responsibility anyway,
mm,
regardless of who is managing it, the results, you are responsible for them because you chose who to manage your money. And when you get that back, you get so empowered and the feeling is so liberating that you are in charge, like with every
wow.
other aspect of your life. It's amazing.
Wow, that sounds incredible. I love how passionately you speak about it.
Because
Um,
I've lived this transformation and I know how beautiful it is. I know how it has changed me. And I'm so excited to now be able to do the same for other women and mentor them through the steps and all the way that will get them there.
So that's a lot of benefits for doing the program. But if you had to nail it down, what would you say is the main problem or pain point that your program is going to solve?
I would say the main problem is regaining your confidence in the ability to manage your money. That's the main thing.
That could be any age. You're right. I saw my
Absolutely.
mother when she was in her mid 70s having absolutely zero control over her money because my dad had always handled it. And then my dad got dementia and she suddenly had to handle the money. And she was so frightened to do it because she had never even done her own internet banking. And I think in that age group, women from 50, 60, 70, 80, there would be so many women who really need to learn how to take charge because there is going to come a point sometime women generally outlive their husbands. And because we still come from that old school, I think there is still a lot of men who handle the finances, even in families where men and women are both earning money.
Yeah.
And so I can see how you could really change someone's life with that. That is a huge pain point.
I think by 2030, it is calculated that trillions of dollars will be transferred over to women globally. We need to be ready to manage this money and to handle it and
Wow.
circulate it in the economy and in a sustainable way that benefits not only us, our families,
Yeah.
our communities, and on a larger scale. There are studies of this wealth transfer that is expected to come in the coming
Wow.
years.
then your course is coming at the perfect time. This program is brilliant because we were only 5 years away from 2030 when there's going to be this wealth transfer.
It is important to mention this because I've also read about studies that show that when women make more money and manage more money, it benefits society on a higher level, much higher level.
I love that. I think it is just how women are. They are
Yeah.
very giving, generous, loving, and community oriented. So, what will change in a woman's life after doing this program? You've seen it in your own life. So,
Yeah.
can you give me an example from your own life of something that changed?
So the best thing that I noticed change in my life is the clarity and the security that I felt when I learned to manage my money. By that time, I would feel so confused, such a fog in my head when it came to money. Like you would spend some here, get some from there, but there was that missing link all in between these pathways that connect the dots. So that was the major thing, the ease, the comfort, and feeling at peace with your money, which is a huge change to your whole relationship with finances, just like with any relationship with other aspects of your life. And once
Yeah.
you have that figured out, the whole puzzle of life coming together finally, that is huge, huge blessing.
Oh my word, this program is going to be such a blessing to me because I feel like I'm one of those women. I'm your ideal target audience. I'm one of those women who I feel like everything's figured out except the money. I love how my health is. I love my happiness. I've got purpose. I've got meaning. I adore my life on every aspect. But if there's one little area where I struggle with peace, it's on the money side. I can't stand having to ask my husband for money, and yet I have to do it because I'm not completely
Mm.
independent yet. I'm not financially free. So I cannot wait to learn what you're going to teach. I cannot wait to get that peace because that's the only area in my life where I feel I don't have perfect peace.
We'll get you there. Trust me.
I love it.
I'm
I
so
love
excited for
it.
you.
And now just throwing in a money question. It's a thing that many people talk about. What would be their return on investment? What's the ROI here? So let's say the program was $5,000. What would be the return on investment that you could foresee if you look at the next 12 months in that person's life after doing an 8-week program? Are they going to make their $5,000 back and then some? Will they be $5,000 poorer or are they going to be $50,000 richer?
That's a very good question. So the ROI on the program, we can separate it in two parts. So one is the purely financial component, where when you learn how to invest and how to use this vehicle that I'm going to teach you, you can make hundreds of thousands of dollars in
Wow.
the long run. But you need time. And of course, it all depends on how much you can set aside to invest, how much you feel comfortable. That's why I'm saying we can start with as little as $10, $10 a week, a month, depending on the pace that you want to test the waters to get the confidence. But once you get confident in what you're doing, that's the whole idea of the program, and you start investing in the long run, you can get tens of thousands of dollars just by applying this strategy. But that's not the main ROI, right, on your investment, because
Mm.
we can't really put a price tag on the feeling of being at peace and in control of your finances and finally completing that puzzle of your life and feeling empowered in every aspect of your life, now with money included. I can't put a price tag on it, honestly. So I'll go with the purely financial, the numbers. But
Yeah.
yes, you can make your money back very, very soon, depending on how
So
much
you,
you are willing to invest. And I have one more. It was supposed to be a surprise, but I want to reveal it. I'm so excited for it, so I'm going to reveal it. So the program is not $5,000. Let's start with that. It's lower price. I want it to be accessible to more and more people. So I don't want to put a price tag on it that would prevent people from joining. But as soon as you complete the program, the 8 weeks of doing the video lessons, the exercises, the live coaching sessions, in 8 weeks, if you do all of this and we have a talk and you say, I'm done, I've completed everything, I will give you a portion of your investment back, guarantee cash back. So that's how you immediately start making money from your initial investment. Because I want everyone to complete the program. I don't want people to get into the program, invest the money, the financial aspect, and not do the work. It doesn't make sense. That's not what I want. So I want to reward effort and I want to reward consistency. So I have a cashback guarantee once you complete the first 8 weeks. And then you stay in the program for a lifetime. So you can go back to the materials anytime you need. But those first 8 weeks of you being in the program, completing it, is a guarantee that you'll get part of your investment back immediately.
Wow. I love that. So, can you give us an option of either some cash back or invest it into your next program? Because I
Yeah,
would think that once people are in the community and they're in the whole energy of this and they're learning how to use that program that you spoke about, they're going to want to stay with you and keep working with you. So it's nice to get the cash back, fantastic. But what I'm hearing from you is if you learn these skills, this program is going to pay for itself over and over again. I love your idea of getting people to finish the program because if I look at how many programs, for example, that I have bought that I have not completed, I love your idea. You want to get them through it, you want to get them to
yes.
get the results and incentivize them. I've never heard of anybody doing that. Is that in your industry? Because I've never heard of that anywhere else in the industry.
I think I've only heard it once in a program that was suggested to me, it was offered to me, and I thought it was a great idea. It is a great tool to get people to actually do the work, complete
Yeah.
the program, graduate, because the result that they will get is so
Yes.
worth it. And you want that investment to work for them and you incentivize them. And yeah, I saw that. I didn't come up with it. It's not my invention, but I love the idea. I love to incentivize people to do it because I know it will change their life. And I really want them to go
Wow.
through the work.
That is brilliant. And that really feels like a feminine approach again, which is you standing by everything that you are putting forward. This is a feminine approach. The idea is you want people to get the transformation.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've seen programs priced at $10,000, I think even more, with no guarantee that it will work for you, no cash back. And I was like, how could you really buy into something like this
Mm.
when there's no guarantee for the results? But there are programs for everyone out there, but I want mine to be different.
I love everything you're doing. You know exactly what you're doing. I do understand that you can't guarantee results because it does depend on what the person does who comes to the
Yeah.
program. If they don't do the work, there's no guarantee. So,
Yeah.
what is the price of inaction? So, what is the price of somebody not doing this program now? What would they still be stuck with if they didn't
Mm,
do the program?
yeah. So the price of not doing the program is staying where you are right now with all the money confusion, the stress, the frustration, with the danger of getting into a point in time when life just requests that you start managing money and you don't know a thing about it. As you said, we live longer. There are so many separations, divorces, and so on. And having the danger of being put in a position where you must have that knowledge and you don't have the time to catch up with that. It's a very dangerous place to be in, to not be prepared for that time.
Yeah.
And of course, the price of not doing the program, not learning the investment strategy when we get to it, is losing tens of thousands of dollars because by not investing, you're actually losing this money.
Right.
Even though it's not coming directly from your pocket, it could be in your pocket, and you say, no, no, thanks.
Leaving money on the table, basically. You're leaving money on the table every day that you're not investing. Yeah.
Yeah. But the highest price is staying confused, staying not at peace, disturbed when it comes to money in your life. And money
Yeah.
is an everyday topic. Like every day we need to handle it.
And it's something that actually keeps people up at night is worrying
Oh,
about
yeah.
money. And it's also the thing that most couples fight about. So money is the thing that can destroy marriages. It could kill a marriage. It could keep you up at night with stress and worry and anxiety. It can lead to all kinds of aches and pains and illnesses. And chronic stress can actually lead
Yeah.
to death in the end.
Get
You don't
stuck in
get
your
to leave a
body.
legacy.
Yeah. Nothing to leave to the children, not being able to afford the things that you want in your life, and not being able to afford experiences that would enrich you and uplift you.
Most people are not retiring on enough money, and the money has not kept up with inflation. Whatever we were
Oh,
doing
yeah.
in the past, whatever investments we were running, they have not kept up with what the cost of living is nowadays.
That's a huge, yeah. I think there was some data, financial data, that more and more women actually find themselves outliving their money, not having enough for retirement. And this was especially valid for women, not for men, probably because they live a little bit short lives. But for women, it was a huge danger that we need to, and the risk, talk about risk tolerance and taking the steps now so that you avoid or mitigate that risk when the time comes.
And for most people, when they're hitting retirement, that's when they need to have medical insurance. You might be in a walker. It's a time when you
Yeah.
might need hearing aids. It's a time when you might need glasses. As you get older, you need things. Your money doesn't stretch that far. So, yeah, how could their situation get worse? What could not growing their money lead to? So, worst case scenario, I think very bad retirement. They could lose their house, they could lose their marriage.
And
Health. These are costs people don't really consider come into the money conversation, but they do.
mm, yeah.
Your
And it's
health,
the conversations that we are not that happy to have. Like the topic is not, yeah, pleasant, but it is coming for all of us, right? We are all human beings in our human bodies, which will need more care in the future. No matter how well we take care of it now, you can't beat aging, not yet, as far as I know. So we need to be ready for it. And there's nothing to be scared about. I think most of that negativity around this conversation comes from fear because we don't know how it
yes.
will be. But we can get prepared, at least financially, to
Hmm.
be safe, secure, and meet whatever challenge comes our way with nest egg that we have compiled.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think a lot of people in the past relied on their children. The way it
Their
used to
children.
work was if you got older, then your families looked after you, your children looked after you. But there's a lot of people now who don't choose to have children and they have pets instead, and your pet ain't gonna look after you when you get old.
Right? We have the same inherited mentality here, but it's starting to fade away as well because
Yeah.
younger generations are moving abroad and people who are left alone, they struggle. It's a real thing. It's a real struggle.
Yeah, I can really see that as being a very big market for you. People over 60, basically 60s, 70s, 80s, and women. You are working with women because they really need this and they need it in a way that they can digest, just like you said. They need
Yeah.
it told in a way that is empowering and sensitive and caring and nurturing. It's a difficult age where you are very vulnerable. And a lot of women over 70, because they've lost their husbands now, are very alone. And it's such a vulnerable age. And I could really see your program being just the exact kind of thing that somebody would need. They would get the community, would get that feeling of people around them who care for them. So if people don't get in control of their finances now and start investing, what are they going to miss out on in life?
You're gonna, if you don't learn how to manage your money and learn to invest, as we said, you're missing out. You're leaving money on the table, tens of thousands of dollars. And if you think about all the beautiful things that you can actually do with this money, that's everything you'll be missing out. Like if you want to go on a vacation, leave money to your children, leave money to your community, do something else for yourself, like pamper yourself or take another course to start a business. It could be any of those things that you can miss out if you leave this money on the table. And the funny thing is, it's actually so easy to really learn this strategy and apply it that I can't wrap my head around as to why someone wouldn't want to do it. Really, it's really that simple and that straightforward. But if you don't do it, you're actually losing on the money, on the experiences, on the difference that you can make with these financial resources, and with all the knowledge that you will be gaining, because you can then transfer it to somebody else who needs it. You can take this knowledge, teach it to kids at your community center or in schools or your own kids or grandchildren. These are the basics, the basic principles of managing money and financial literacy that you can then we can share and make this whole movement for more financial literacy. Because I remember when I was young, there was nothing on financial literacy at my school, in the neighborhood, in the community center that was nearby. Nobody was talking about financial education. And
Mm.
now, if you learn this, you can share and we can spread the message even further.
I love what you're saying. And so, what would your ideal audience be? I was thinking of this end of the spectrum, over 50, 60, 70. But what you're saying now is very interesting too, because what about the young ones? If you can come and learn this early, you're not going to make the same mistakes we made, right? If you had to pinpoint your ideal audience for this program, who do you want to work with? What are the kind of women you love working with?
So, when I designed the program, I designed it for the woman that I was when I started my own journey, because
Mhm.
that's who I feel would resonate most with my transformation, my path to where I am now. So these would be ideally women in their 30s or 40s, probably 50s also. I can see how this program can work really beautifully for girls, women in their 20s as well,
Hmm.
because the earlier you learn the basic principles, the
Yeah.
more time you will have for compound interest and your investments to work for you and make more money for you as you continue in your life. The group that I see would benefit the most would be women in their 30s, 40s, early 50s who
Mhm.
still have quite a lot of time to accumulate and let money accumulate and bring more money as
Right.
you come to your 60s or 70s. But
Fabulous.
yeah, these are money lessons that you can learn at any age. And these are money principles and strategies that you can start applying immediately. So it doesn't matter what age you are. But
Yeah.
the women that I would love most to work with are the ones that I resonate with. You know, me, I love to work with me, right?
I love
Because
it.
I know how much I was missing such a program when I started, and I want to give it to myself.
I love that. That is absolutely gorgeous. And I think that's why it's coming through you like this. That's why there's so much excitement and passion, and why it's just like generating through you, creating through you. I mean, it's amazing. So, why do you think women are not able to solve these problems for themselves? Why can't they just go on Google or ChatGPT and get these answers?
I love this. So I again picture myself as I started. I did it myself, right? But it took me years. It took me years to learn, to study, to go through different courses, and to really get the ability to filter through all the financial noise. That's one of the biggest problems. There's so much information. There are so many options to learn from. There's so many resources available that we get overwhelmed by this choice. And you really don't know where to start. I myself, I just started picking things as they came to me. And it took me some time to figure out the exact strategy, lay out the building blocks of this holistic strategy that starts with a mindset and then goes all the way to investing. You can try to do it yourself, but you will be doing it for years. You will be learning for years, and you will be making the same mistakes that I did. So you will not only lose a lot of time, you may make some really costly mistakes. I did those. I'm not ashamed to admit it, but I lost a lot of money on some investments that didn't work out. And you don't have to, right? So it's always better to learn something specific type of material with the help of someone who has already been there, done
Mm,
it, and can walk you through the steps really quickly and give you just the essence that you need because there's so much fluff, there is so much noise that it will take you a lot of time, effort, and concentration to really understand, is this thing legitimate? Do I really need to follow this financial guru's advice? Or is it a scam? Is it something
mm,
that's not worth my time? And it takes time to build this skill just to know how to distinguish between these things.
mm.
And with a program like this, you don't have to deal with any of that. It will give
Yeah.
you just the exact essential things that you need to know and the essential steps that you need to take to start
Mm.
investing and go through the whole process.
So basically, if you are just coachable and willing to follow the program to the letter, you can take them from A to B. You can get them
Oh,
from not having any financial literacy, not doing any investing themselves, and to the point where they know how to invest. They've got the confidence to invest, and they're going to actually start making money.
and do it as a goddess.
I love it. I love it. I love it. It's so cool. It's so gorgeous. So, you have done a number of courses yourself. You have written a book on the topic. You are the expert in the room. Is there any re other reason why they should listen to you and not another coach?
Because I've done it. I've been through this path. I am the living proof that it works. As we said, we can do it ourselves, or we can have someone who embodies what we want to learn and just follow their steps. It's always like that. The best programs that work for you are the ones that you take with a person who exemplifies what you want to learn, who is at this stage that you want to get.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of coaches that are so many steps ahead. Of course, there are financial experts. They have like 15 years in the financial industry, but they are in a whole different aspect or side of the spectrum that you can't really see yourself get there. It's just not imaginable. But when you see someone real, raw, who has done it, who's done the work, and I'm such an ordinary person. I mean, I'm in Eastern Europe. I have done it myself. So any other woman can also do it. And I'll be honored to show them how.
Oh, I absolutely love that. Okay, so let's talk about how the program is going to look. So somebody decides they want to join today. What would they do next? Do they go and have a conversation with you on Zoom? How do you take it from here?
So I would love, and that's one of the policies that I've decided to have for my program. I want to know every single person who wants to get into the program. That's
Mhm.
why I want to have a call with
Mhm.
anybody who's interested, because I want to make sure this is the right program for them. There
Right.
might be people who would be interested in things that I might not be able to cover for them. So it wouldn't make sense for us to work in this partnership. So, yeah, the next logical steps is just to have a conversation where you are at, what do you expect, why is it important for you to do it now? Because I need to make sure that you will do the work. It's not just the thing that you buy the program and not do it. I would like to limit the number of people who would be getting into the program without the motivation to do the work and get this level of financial literacy that I have the ability to bring to them. Having a call is the next step.
Perfect. Okay, so the next step is we give them a
Yeah.
link to your calendar, they book a call, and then you take it from there. And the
Yeah.
course is starting on the 16th of June. So what's going to happen? How does it work?
So the program consists of 4 modules
Hmm.
for the 4 steps of the system, where we first look into the mindset, into the goddess archetypes. Then we look at your current situation and financial goals. Then we work with the practical stuff on how to organize, how to optimize your finances. And then we get into widening your wealth, the investment strategies and investment vehicle that I will be sharing. Each module is 2 weeks long, so that's how the whole program is 8 weeks long. It has a self-paced component, a video lesson with workbooks where you get to do some exercises. You get to do the work, move it through your body, through your consciousness, through experience.
Hmm.
And then every 2 weeks, we have a group training call to go over what we've covered in the module that we've just been through. So these are group calls. We'll share what this module has brought for us, any questions that have arisen through this period. The program first starts with a personal coaching call with me, between me and the participant, to set the right tone, set the expectations, to know what we'll be covering, the time commitment that it will take for someone to go through the program. Then the biweekly calls, you will get invited into a private community just for the program participants, where we'll share wins, we'll share nudges, have that accountability, and have that networking and support from other women that are on the same path as you. And yeah, I'm so excited to really
Amazing.
launch this. And I don't know if we want to go to this now, but I have this very, very special offer just for the beta
Yes.
launch. Yes,
Yes. Tell us about
just
your
for,
special offer.
just for the people who are listening or viewing this interview. I will be taking 50% off the
Wow.
price of the program. And this will be an offer that I will not be giving anytime further down the road, because I want you to be one of the founding members of this community. And for founding members, I have this special gift of taking 50% off the price of the program if you start with us today. Well, not today, the June 16th is the launch date. Yeah.
Amazing. So, do you need a special code, a discount code for that or something when they go to checkout, or will you just discuss on the conversation?
We'll discuss that on the conversation. You just let me know that you listen to this and you are claiming your 50% off. I'll take it. Absolutely no question.
Fantastic.
No further questions asked.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for giving that to my
Sure.
audience. I love that. I really appreciate that. Oh, I love being able to give people goodies. Isn't that exciting? I feel like I'm Oprah now or Linda DeGeneres giving away stuff. Yay, this came through me. Woohoo. That is
Actually,
so much fun.
you're currently giving them hundreds of dollars right now
Yes.
for everyone.
Yes. So there's the 50% off plus all of the money they can make, plus all of the other wins
Oh,
they're going to get. I mean, we've discussed it. And just to end off this interview, what is one small but powerful action a woman can take today to start stepping into her money goddess energy?
Give me a call. That's the smallest thing you can do. Get on a call. Let's get you into your money goddess status. It's so easy. It's just a decision that you want to go there and just little step right now.
Okay, that is brilliant. I love that. Thank you so much.
Thank you
And
for having me again, Lauren. It was an absolute delight.
it is such a pleasure. It's been so much fun, and I cannot wait to be in your program. So, just for everybody again, it starts on the 16th of June. It runs for 8 weeks. It's called the Money Goddesses Grow System. It's all about growing your money, and it's going to be so much fun. And you're actually going to start growing money towards the end of the program. So, in a year's time, your finances are going to look completely different. You're going to be empowered. You're going to be the independent money goddess that you always wanted to be. I'm just so, so excited.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much, Vicky. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you, Lauren.